before I start, I'm going to open my talk two different ways. And I want you to tell me which one sounds better. I'm going to say the exact same thing, okay? Here's the first one. I'm really excited. Today, we're going to talk about public speaking. Here's the second one. Hey everyone, today, I'm really excited to talk about public speaking. If I open my talk the second way, how many of you would still pay attention to any words that come out of my mouth? Not even a sympathy vote? Nothing? Was there a difference between the first one and the second one? Yes? What was the difference? Can I hear some differences? Louder, okay. That's the microphone guy, nothing to do with me. What else? Confident, okay. What did that look like? Look like me, right? I'm a pretty confident guy, right? Any other suggestions? Enthusiasm, okay. Now let me ask you this. When we are delivering a presentation, when we're giving a speech, when we're talking to our clients, if you had speaker number 2 in there, do you think it would affect the outcome of the presentation, yes or no? Have you ever seen a presentation like presentation number 2 there? Have you ever given one? Only one person has. Everyone else is an amazing public speaker. I'll be the first one to raise my hand here. And I'll tell you, because when I came to Canada, I didn't really know how to speak at all. So this took me a long time to learn. And today, I'd like to make you a very, very bold promise. In the next 45 minutes, I want to give you 4 tools that you can implement right away to become a more confident, credible speaker than 99% of the human population. If I can do that for you, would you lend your ears to me for 45 minutes? Yes or no? Yes. There we go. This is a good crowd. I should come here more often. Now, who here is here to learn something? Raise your hand. For those of you who are not raising your hand, I'm not quite sure why you're here. There's lunch in the back. You can enjoy yourself there. But everyone has a different definition of learning. Let me hear some definitions. What would your definition of learning be?
Gain insight. Gain insight.
Okay, I like that. Gain insights. Who has a different definition? Yes. One more time.
Expanding your knowledge.
Expanding your knowledge. Okay, so insights, knowledge. What else? This is an English-speaking side too, correct? Yeah? Can I hear one from this table here?
New perspective.
New perspective, okay. A lot of buzzwords going on. So today, we're going to have to agree on one common definition of learning. Today's definition is going to be to acquire information or experience that changes your behavior. If I spoke for the next 45 minutes and the moment I stopped talking, nothing changed in your life. Have you learned anything, yes or no? So my goal today is not to speak for 45 minutes, but instead get you to speak instead. Because I believe the best way to learn to speak is to do what? To speak. So this is going to be a highly interactive workshop where you're going to be working with the person next to you and trying out some of these tools. Now I want to give you 3 quick warnings before we start. The first one is there's going to be a healthy amount of discomfort. Because every time there's change, there's a little bit of discomfort, and that's how you know you're doing something different. So if I give you an exercise to try, I don't expect you to get it right away. I just expect you to try it and feel just a little bit of discomfort. Is that okay? Do I have your permission for that, yes or no? Okay. Second thing is, do I have your permission to be a little bit silly today? Because some of the exercises we'll do will exaggerate things. Because I want to show you your range. What happens when you don't use it, what happens when you do use it, so you can see the spectrum and you can land right in the middle. So is it okay if we suspend belief for a bit and be a little bit silly? Is that okay? Yes? Let me one more time? There we go. Lastly, there's a lot of pressure in these workshops to perform really well. My boss is here, my colleagues are here, I need to speak really well, I need to impress everyone. That's not the goal today. Your goal here is not to be good. Your goal is to figure out what you need to get good at. So you will try some techniques. Some will land, some will not land. Some will feel a little wonky. Some will feel really good. I just want you to experiment with it. At the end of the 45 minutes, I'm hoping you have a very clear idea of what you need to work on to become a credible speaker. Is that clear so far? I want to make sure I'm not rambling too much. Give me a yes if that's clear. Yes. There we go. Okay. I don't want you to trust a word that comes out of my mouth until I have proven it to you on stage, okay? So I'd love for you to bring all of your attention to me right now. Try to make me as nervous as possible. A lot of debt collectors here, and I have a lot of debt. So look at me and focus on every single word coming out of my mouth. Pay very close attention to my instructions, okay? Raise your hand up high like this. Keep it completely straight, no half-assing here, completely straight. There we go. Now point your finger to the ceiling like so. Okay, now take your index finger and place it on your chin. Now look at the person next to you and say, that's not your chin. This guy got the idea, he got it right. So I said, place your finger on your chin, but most of you had it on your cheek. Who wants to explain to me why that happened? Yes. Yes, exactly. Actions speak louder than words. Light travels faster than sound. So when we're talking about credibility and how to speak, the first thing we must acknowledge is what we look like when we speak. Because language takes time to process. But when you see something right away, instantly, you decide whether you like it or not. So if I came here in my underwear, I'm sure you would notice that before I opened my mouth, correct? Thankfully I did not. Peter talked me out of it. Thank you for that pep talk. So I wanted to show you how you can not use your body if you want to be credible, and then how you can use it. So I'd like a quick volunteer just to come up here and I can show you what to do. Don't worry, you don't have to perform in any way. Who can come up here and do a terrible job? That's the job. Can I borrow you for a quick second, please? Yeah, come on up here. Round of applause, folks. He's never going to sit in the front seat ever again. Okay, so we're going to make sure you have the worst possible body language, just so we can see the difference, okay? I just want you to introduce yourself. Just say your name and your job title. 15 seconds. Just look at the audience. Just do that. Don't worry about body language.
Okay, my name is John. I'm the Vice President of Chapter Law Professional.
Okay, you're doing a little too well. Hold on.
Okay. So I'll look this way.
It's okay, it's okay. Now continue here.
Yeah.
Same exact thing. I just want you to take your hands behind you, right, like so, and I want you to cross your legs like that.
Oh, that's awkward.
Yes, like you're in school and you're getting punished, okay? Say the exact same thing.
My name is John, and I'm the Vice President of Chapter Law Professional Corporation.
Does he look like a vice president talking like this? No. Did any, someone said, yeah. That's your best friend right there after the presentation. Did anything about what he said change? Only his body language, but did it affect how you perceived him, right? We're going to change a couple of things here. Don't worry, we won't die here. Just 15 more seconds, okay? Same thing, but this time, bring your hands together like so and clench them. Like that. There we go. Same exact thing.
My name is John. I'm the Vice President of Chapter Law.
Okay. First of all, he's a very good speaker, isn't he? Yeah. Right? Got to do a worse job. So here you can almost tell he's praying. Oh, I hope this goes well. I don't know how long I'm up here for. This guy, man, shouldn't have worn this blue suit. Makes me stand out. Can you feel the tension just a little bit? Right? Now I'm going to make a minor adjustment. I just want you to take this and open your hands like so.
Okay.
Same exact thing.
My name is John, and I'm the Vice President of Chapter Law.
Does John look like a vice president? Yes. Right? What changed? Because nothing about him changed. Even he's not convinced. Are you a vice president? Maybe check your check. Am I? I just got promoted. Can we see the difference with just what he did with his hands? This is just the hands. So now we know what not to do. Let's discuss what to do. You can have a seat. Give him a round of applause, please. Your hands are perhaps the most powerful tool you can use for your credibility. One thing that you can implement right away if you want to look more credible is make these things visible. When we are afraid, what do? We hide them. Hey, what's going on? How is everything? Yeah, so these are my slides, and yeah. Can you tell immediately my credibility just goes down with what I'm doing with my hands? So what we do is we hide our palms when we are not confident. A lot of people, when you're sitting under the desk, you'll start rattling your hands like so. Now, some people will say, well, you should hold your hands here. I would agree. But this turns into what I like to call the hand octopus, where you have this, and this turns into that, and then into this. So yeah, today we're going to talk about this, and all of a sudden you're knitting together some sort of a sweater in your hands here. We don't want that to happen. So you keep your palms visible to the audience the whole time. The other thing you want to be careful is your fingers. So I'm going to point at you for just a second. Don't get offended. But if I say, can you come up here and talk to these people? Can you come up here and talk to these people? Can you tell how it's a little aggressive? Almost like I'm accusing him. But what if I said, can you come here and talk to these people? Can you come here and talk to these people? Did anything change about what I said? But did anything change about how you perceive my message? Just because the palm of my hand was open, okay? The other thing is, okay, now I know my palms are open, what the heck do I do with my hands? A lot of people don't know, should I put them in my pocket here? Should I stand behind this thing here so no one notices my hands? A really good tool, synchronize your words to your gestures. So you'll notice as I am talking, my words are paired together with my body. What this does, not only does it allow you to speak confidently, it allows you to pace yourself. Because I can't move my body really fast. So if I talk really fast, my hands can't keep up. But if I use my body, it will break my pace down. The other thing it does, it segments your speech. This or that. Prices were low and high. You can see how it's visually more interesting, is it not? As opposed to just my hands at the side. So I want you to try this with me right now. I'm going to say a sentence and I'm going to make a gesture. I want you to say it with me and I want you to do the gesture with me. Can we do that? Okay, beautiful. I think you gotta try a little harder than that. Let's do it one more time. I'm excited to be here. Feels good using your hands for the first time, right? Let's try it one more time. You look amazing. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Got this suit yesterday. I'm very, very proud of it. He's the only one outclassing me in fashion, but I appreciate that. So here's what we're going to do. I want you to try this. Pair up with the person next to you just for 1 minute. I want you to talk about what you did since you woke up and you came to this event. Every tiny little thing. You went to the bathroom, you brushed your teeth, you had breakfast, whatever it might. Hopefully you brushed your teeth. I don't know. I don't know what the culture is like here, but I'm hoping you did. Just talk about that, and your goal is to pair your gestures with your hands. Does that sound clear, folks? Okay, take 2 minutes. Let's do that. 3, 2, 1. Hilarious? Is that what I heard?
I would say the volume was louder.
Yes, isn't that interesting? So you'll almost never see when you move your body, you'll go even more quiet. Almost never happens. So there's some things in public speaking where if you try one thing, 4 other things improve. And your body is that main one. When you start moving your body, automatically your volume goes a little louder.
I noticed I was thinking more about my hand gestures than what I was actually saying.
Yes, and for the purpose of this exercise, that's exactly what you should be doing. When we're focusing on skill development, we try to focus on one thing at a time. When you do a lot of repetition, it becomes second nature, and then you can think about what to say. So that's completely normal, don't worry.
I felt that I was speaking extremely slowly.
Yeah? Yeah, because you got to think about the gesture a little bit, right? This really helps people who ramble a lot, who just go on and on and on. We'll talk about it in just a bit. It helps you break down your speech a little bit, okay? Did it feel a little alien to anyone to move your hands that much? Yeah? Yeah? So this is part of the process. It's going to feel a little uncomfortable. Now the goal is not to make every meeting a theatrical performance, okay? Today I'm here to talk about a prophet gone from here to... We're not trying to do that, because then it's going to be strange. The idea is to expand your range and then find a healthy medium. Most people use too little, so try too much and then you land in the middle, okay? Do we know how to use our hands? Do we know how to use our body language? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Okay, I like you there. Super high at the hand. Now, how often have you met someone where you asked them a simple question, but they took 18 minutes to get to their answer? Maybe it's a debt collector thing, I don't know. So just about everyone here, right? Or you ask someone a simple question in the meeting, hey, what's the update on the project? And they tell you everything except the answer, right? Have you ever done that yourself? Right? A lot of guilty people, including myself. So what happens here? What's the challenge? The challenge is we don't quite know how to take the thoughts in our head and turn it into speech. What a lot of us do, including myself, we start talking and we hope we find the direction along the way. Right? If I talk long enough, eventually I'll know what I'm talking about. Has anyone felt that before? Right? So what's the challenge here? The challenge here is a lack of structure. We just don't know how to take the thoughts and put it into speech. So I want someone to ask me how to get here to the TELUS office. Just ask me that question, please. So the TELUS office is located in Toronto. Amazing city, by the way. They've got so much diversity, so much food everywhere. So if you want to get to the TELUS office, first of all, you're going to need to be downtown. All of the action is downtown. So many events happening downtown. In fact, last week Taylor Swift was here. The week before Beyonce was here. Anyway, so if you keep going downtown, I think if you take a left on Yonge, I'm not really sure. Anyway, there's a great... How do you feel about my answer so far? Have you heard a similar answer in your meetings before, yes or no? Right? What's the problem with my answer? Tell me. A little louder? No. Yeah, no answer. Okay. What else?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Thank you very much. I feel very credible talking about credibility, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. What else?
Full of useless information.
Yes, exactly. Useless information. What does it do for my credibility?
Makes it useless.
Exactly. Thank you very much. I've never felt this useless in my entire life until I stepped on stage here. Right? So what we do a lot of times, when we're nervous, we start talking more. When we're asked a question, instead of giving ourselves time to think, we just speak, how can I just speak as fast as possible? And then we start rambling. So how do we fix this? I'm going to give you a very, very easy way to fix this. Can I get a quick volunteer? Again, no pressure. Just come up here and do what I tell you to do. Just raise your hand real quick. Yes, come on up. Raise it. Round of applause, please. Why is every person coming up here better dressed than I am? I put a lot of effort into this. Okay. Let's give them a random question, not a corporate question, a fun question. Like, what's your favorite vacation? What's your favorite superpower? That kind of thing.
Did you go to Taylor Swift last week?
Okay. You can tell me, it's okay. Any other questions?
When's your birthday?
Okay, something a little bit more broad, so he has the opportunity to ramble about it. Yes?
What hair product do you use?
Oh, okay. Very specific question. Okay, so I want you to answer, but tell them everything except the hair product you use. Okay. Just ramble on. The goal is to be terrible.
All right.
Okay.
So I actually went to the supermarkets, and over there I found some nice couple apples, and I normally rub them together and use that for a little bit of conditioner. And,
I'm not sure if you're telling the truth or not. Is this some secret that we haven't discovered or not? Right? But even when he started answering that question, you weren't quite sure where he was going with it, right? So how can we fix this? I'm going to give you a sample question, okay? Let's take the question, what's your favorite app on your phone? Let's take that. So if I were to answer that question incorrectly, this is what it would sound like. My favorite app on my phone, I like a lot of apps. I like Spotify is good, Instagram. What's that new one? The TikTok, I like that one a lot. Yeah, you know, I check the TELUS app every now and then. I check my bills, and yeah. How did we feel about that answer? All over the place, right? Did we feel any structure there? Have you heard an answer like that before? Right? So what's missing? It's not going anywhere. There's no structure. So let's give him another question, and we're going to implement the structure. And by the way, this is a writer-downer. This is going to help you out, okay? Throw one more question at me, please.
Favorite sport?
Favorite sport. Okay, so before you answer, I'm going to give you the structure, and then we will use that structure to see if it helps. The first thing in the structure is point, P-O-I-N-T. When you're asked a question, before you open your mouth, believe it or not, it actually helps to think about what you're going to say. So take 5 seconds to think about your answer and answer the question in the first sentence. Don't build up to the answer, answer it right away. So for example, what was the question? Favorite sport? Okay, so what would be your favorite sport?
rugby.
Okay, so your first sentence would be, my favorite sport is rugby, okay? That's how you would start. Then you would provide a reason or a justification for that. So for him it could be, the reason I love rugby is because of A, B, C. So in this case, what would be the reason you like rugby?
It's a gentleman's sport, and it's high intensity.
We're talking about rugby here, right?
Yeah.
Gentleman's sport, wow, okay.
Hooligan sport played by gentlemen.
Okay, this is a passionate individual, can we tell? Yes.
I played rugby.
Yeah,
There we go. Connect with her afterwards, okay? Okay, so can we give 2 reasons for why you like rugby? That's one, gentleman's sport. What's the other one?
High intensity.
High intensity, okay. So the second one being reason. Point and then reason. Now the last one is one most people forget. Have you ever had someone who talks and they start really well, but then they just don't stop talking and they keep going on and on and on? Ever been on a sales call where they just keep going, I'll buy the product, man, let's go. No, they'll keep talking, they'll keep talking. So how do you know when to stop? You have the point again at the end. So you have point, you have reason or justification, and you have point. This is very useful in a meeting. This is useful for impromptu speeches. My entire keynote today, believe it or not, is a giant version of this format, okay? So point, reason, point again. So the way you would end it and say, so that's why rugby is my favorite sport. So point at the start, that's why rugby is my favorite sport. Does that make sense? Is that clear enough? Yeah? Want to give that a try?
Sure.
Go for
My
it.
favorite sport is rugby because it's a hooligan sport played by gentlemen. It is high intensity, and that's why it's my favorite sport.
Did we feel the structure there? Did it sound streamlined? Give them a round of applause, folks. Have a seat. Now, there's two things you can do depending on the length of your interaction and the context. If you are in a meeting and your executive asks you, hey, what's the update on this project? I don't want you to say, the update on this project is it's been delayed. The reason it's been delayed is because I don't have an update. That's why it's been delayed. Please don't do that. Instead, I want you to craft this format according to the context. So if it's a simple question, just get to the point right away. If you have to come up with a 5-minute speech or a 10-minute speech, what you can do is you can add an extra E in there. So point, reason, example point. Or point, reason, story point. Another quick thing you can do to help you structure something, this is so tiny but it works. Let's pretend I'm giving you advice on public speaking, okay? And I say, there's a couple of things you can do with public speaking. You can do this, you can do that, and then you can do this other thing. There's a certain amount of credibility I'm speaking with. But what if I said, there's 3 things you can do to improve your public speaking? Number 1, number 2, number 3. Which one made me sound more credible? Second one. The only thing I did was divide it into points and structure it that way. Okay? So what I'd love for you to do, partner up with the person next to you. Let's pick something that's really exciting in your life. Just tell the other person, what is one thing really exciting in your life? Point, reason, point. Then the other person goes and we'll do it again.
I would say the conversation is more crisp and concise.
I like those words, crisp and concise. Put that on my LinkedIn, please. I think that would be great. Okay, what else? What else did we notice?
Became more conversational versus Q&A.
Interesting. I've never heard that one before. Okay. What else?
He said? What did he say?
Conversational?
Yeah.
Much more conversational. Yes. Oh, I think you were raising your hand. Okay. I had assumed too much participation. Who else? What can you share about what you learned doing that?
One other point I bring up is the eye contact.
Yes.
A lot better.
Interesting. Why do you think that is?
I think because we're more focused on what we're talking about, so we're focusing on the person we're speaking to.
Yeah.
In retrospect to just rambling, like you say, and going
Yeah.
all over the place.
Who would have thought focusing on the other person would be beneficial? Right? Usually I'm just thinking about myself the whole time, right? And we are, especially in public speaking. We're too concerned about what we look like, how we speak, what our slides look like. We don't even realize what the other people are doing. So did it add some structure? Did it have some fluidity to your conversation? Yes or no? Okay. By the way, this takes practice. You don't get it right away. Now, have you ever talked about a subject that you find so boring and you're wondering, how do I make this sound interesting? Okay? No one in debt collection is going to say yes. No, my subject is really interesting. No such thing as a boring topic. Now, I'll tell you, there's no such thing as a boring topic, only boring speakers. I'll say that again. No such thing as a boring topic, only boring speakers. You probably had a teacher in high school who was teaching some boring subject, but the way they were teaching it was so interesting, you kept listening in. And you probably had the opposite too. You loved the subject, but the teacher you had was just so bored out of it, you just didn't pay attention. Can anyone relate to that? Right? Okay. So I want you to say a sentence with me, but I want you to say it the way I say it. Can we do that? Okay? So I'm going to say it plainly and just repeat after me, and then I'm going to say it several times again. I didn't say he wanted this.
I didn't say he wanted to.
There's a bit of a lag here. I think the TELUS internet is not working properly. Let's try it one more time. I didn't say he wanted this.
I didn't say he wanted this.
There you go. I didn't say he wanted this.
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 Now let me ask you a question. Did any of the words change? No. Someone said yes. What word changed? We said it 8 times. But did the meaning of the sentence change? Yes. Why? Because of the emphasis. You can say the same exact thing, but if you focus on different words, the meaning of the sentence changes. So let me put that into perspective. Let's say you're announcing a product and you say, I'm really excited to announce this brand new product. But what if I said it like this? Really excited to announce this brand new product. Which one would you buy? Same words. The way I said it is very different. But let me ask you a question. Before a presentation, before a client meeting, before a speech, what's the number one thing we're thinking about? What's on the slides and what do I say? What are the words? But do we ever think about what those words sound like? Because you can say all the right words, but if it does not sound correct, the meaning will be interpreted differently. So how do you do this? How do you emphasize? All you do is, as you're speaking, you take adjectives and you take nouns and you try to emphasize them. And what's really interesting is you can say whatever you want and you could make it sound interesting. Could I borrow that pen really quickly from you? Sure. I'll give it back, I promise. Okay. So let's take this pen. Anything inherently interesting about this pen? Maybe it's a Tellus pen, or it's not even a Tellus pen, it's a Staples pen. Okay? So what if I said, this is a blue pen, and sometimes I get ideas in the middle of the night, so I reach over on my counter, I pick it up, and I write my ideas, and they lead me to good business ideas. How interesting does that sound? Not even a sympathy vote. You guys are tough here. Okay, what if I said it one more time? This is a blue pen. Sometimes in the middle of the night, I get ideas and I don't know what to do with them. So I lean over to my counter and I grab this pen here. And it helps me take all of the ideas in my head and put them into paper. And some of those ideas have turned into a multi-million-dollar business. Same exact pen. Did it sound different the second time? Yes. Why? $1 million. Yes, that's part of it. Okay. Should have mentioned that in the first one too. Anything other than the $1 million?
Sounds like a magic pen.
A magic pen? Yeah.
Talking to debt collectors about money, money in a sentence. Why do you think everyone's...
All of a sudden, money? Do you owe money? Do you owe money? Who owes money? The way I talked about the pen changed the value in which you perceive the pen. Yes or no? Yes. Right? So when you're talking about your service, thank you very much, or when you're talking about what you do, no matter what it is, it can be a product, service, or an idea, depending on how you talk about it, is going to change how the idea is perceived. Now, to prove this point to you, I want to take someone with a very, very boring story, and just using emphasis, we're going to make this sound interesting. Who here knows what they did since they woke up and they came to this event? No one knows what they did? Living completely idly? What is happening to us? Come on, let's raise your hand. Do we know what we did? Were we alive? Yes. Okay, raise your hand, please. Okay. Can I get one quick volunteer to try a quick exercise with me, just to talk about your day?
Jay volunteers.
Come on up. Round of applause, folks. Who's Jake here? Come on up. We can do it. Okay.
You okay?
Yes, that's a very firm handshake. I feel very intimidated. Okay, here's what I want you to do. I just want you to tell them in painstaking detail what you did since you woke up and you arrived at the venue. But make it sound as boring as possible, as flat as you can.
Okay.
Okay? Go for it.
I woke up this morning.
No, too interesting. Can you tell there's already suspense in the voice? Right? Super uninteresting. Just you're dead tired.
I rolled out of bed and, started walking to the bathroom, brushed my teeth, made some food, made a protein shake. It was okay. Got into the car. It was cold.
Okay, I'm going to stop here because I don't think you can handle the adrenaline rush of the speech here, right? First of all, he did a really good job of doing a terrible job. Did he not? Very, very good. Now, let's have him do some emphasis in the word. So I want you to take these ordinary things you're talking about, but place emphasis like it's the most amazing thing in the world. So you woke up, you brushed your teeth for the first time in your life. Then you went to the... Try doing that, okay? Let's try.
This morning when I woke up, man, I got out of bed and it was absolutely an amazing day for me. The air that I was breathing was incredible, so I walked up these stairs. When I walked up the stairs, I went to my bathroom, I turned on the light, and that light, oh my God, that light was incredible. Let me tell you about when I was brushing my teeth. Oh Oh my God, that toothpaste, I put that toothpaste on my toothbrush and that
How much did you put?
I put so much. Let me tell I went like this, and then, you know, this is my keynote. It's so white because...
Okay, let me stop him here before he goes into his own keynote. How was that? Is that good or what? Very, very good. Please have a seat. First of all, I think you should have been here throughout the entire keynote. You're amazing. You're fantastic. Have you ever heard anyone talking about brushing their teeth and making it sound as interesting? No. So why did he do well the second time that he did not do the first time?
Expressive.
Expressive? In what way, you would say?
His tone, his demeanor, his body language, everything. He was just pumped up.
Beautiful. What else?
Pause between points to create suspense.
Yes, yes. What else? Energy. Did you hear how he said that? Energy. What's that?
Body language.
Okay, what about the body language?
Expressive, and he used all the toothpaste.
Exactly. You used the whole tube in there one morning, right? Just to squeeze the whole thing out. So the challenge is this, folks. Any topic can be interesting if you just inject some enthusiasm. So what you can do is implement some variety, up and down in your volume. So if I talk like this the entire time, hey, today I'm going to talk about public speaking, this is really interesting, it's too boring because it's the same. But if I just go up and down, today I'm going to talk about public speaking. And the reason I'm going to talk about public speaking is because it's very close to my heart. Can you tell? Up and down, up and down. That's what makes it more interesting. So for this last exercise, what we're going to do, you're going to partner up with a person next to you and on purpose, give your partner a really boring topic. It could be a pen, it could be a stool, it could be a cookie, it could be whatever, and just try to make it interesting with your tone, and your partner will tell you if it sounds interesting, and you have to be honest. Can we do that? Yeah? Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go. How did you make it sound interesting? I'm curious.
I didn't know what it was for, so I did a lot of research on it, and I got here because I'm not from Canada. So I was just looking around and said, hey, I like the poppy. What's it for? And they told me, and that's
You got a radio voice, my friend. I think you need to be on radio. That was really good. Was that good or what? I've never heard a better poppy commercial in my life. That was really good. What else?
Christine spoke about these amazing cookies.
Okay. Was the cookies amazing or the way she talked about it was amazing?
She spoke about them.
Okay. Can you replicate that a little bit? How did you talk about it?
So she said that she's been to this event previously. She's had these cookies before, and they're amazing. So they're covered in chocolate, they're digestive.
I haven't had breakfast. Can we save this for? Thank you. That was great. Okay. Well, one more. What did we notice? Oh, that's what I want to hear. How did you make that sound interesting?
You want to make your dream come true, and you want to have your dream house. You want to have that family. You want to start off by paying your bills on time. You want to get recorded for credit.
Give this man a promotion, please. Give him a round of applause. If you can make a credit report sound interesting, my friend, you have reached your peak. There you go. Right? Whoever's on your team needs to give you all presentation rights from now on. That was really, really good. There you go. Now we have an A player on the team. So before we wrap things up, I just want to open it up to maybe 1 or 2 questions. What questions do you have as you've been trying these exercises? Yes?
It's more around how do you incorporate everything we talked about today into Zoom meetings.
Into?
Zoom meetings.
Yeah, so Zoom meetings, one of the things that people don't really pay attention to almost at all is body language. And when you're communicating, it's very important. Now I'll tell you, one of the things that I'm sick and tired of seeing with my clients is up their nostril. Right? So please avoid doing that. Where you point your camera, it actually makes a lot more difference than you might think. So if your camera's down below here, it can make it look like you're looking down at the person. Subconsciously, because you don't realize it. But if your camera's up here, then it looks like you're looking up at the person. So always keep it eye level. And I always like to have my hands visible. Now you can't have your entire body visible, obviously, on Zoom, but try to have your hands visible. What I also like doing is with eye contact, it's difficult because you have a screen and you can see all those people moving, and you want to see what everyone's doing, but you also want to make eye contact. The last thing you want to do is pretend this is a giant Zoom meeting, right? And this is my screen, so this is what we need to do this quarter. We need to hit our numbers. Do you feel like I'm connecting with you? But this is what we do on Zoom. We don't make any eye contact, right? The only way to make eye contact on Zoom is to look directly in the camera. So what I like to do is I like to take my Zoom screen, I like to minimize it as small as possible and put it right under my webcam. So that way, when I'm looking at the camera, I can also see the reaction and look back up. The only problem is if you're nearsighted, it's going to be really hard to see those people. So I hope that helped your question. Most people when they pause in meetings, they get interrupted because the other person is not comfortable with silence. Ever had that? You're taking your time, you're not done, someone just butts in. So what's really important is when you're pausing, give an indication that you're not done. Or pause in the middle of a sentence so people know you're not finished. So you can see that I'm in the middle of the sentence, but you know that I'm not done. So when you're answering with the PRP structure we talked about, point, reason, point, the moment you say, so that's why I think this is what we should do. Is there any doubt in your mind whether I've done talking? You know, because I stamped it, right? So if you have dedicated space and time to yourself to pause, then take a little longer. 2 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. If you're in a meeting, pause at the end of the sentence or every comma. That should be enough for you, because if you go any longer, especially in a leadership meeting, good luck trying to pause for 5 seconds. Does that answer your question? Okay. We've got 35 seconds, so here's what I'm going to do. Did we learn how to use our body language today? Yes or no? Yes. Did we learn how to take our thoughts and put it into a good structure? Yes or no? Yes. Did we learn how to make something sound interesting? Yes or no? Yes. Now the thing is, the moment I walk out, you're going to forget every single thing I said. So this is just like going to the gym and doing one really intense workout in a year and then expecting to get results. So if this has been beneficial, I'd like to give you 2 resources that you can use. It will require you to pull your phone out really quickly. Pull your phone out, go to Safari, or God forbid you use Android, go to whatever browser's on Android. What is it, Chrome? I don't know what. Go to your Chrome and go to speaklikeaceo.com. And right at the top, you'll see a free 10-day course. When you sign up for it, every single day it's going to send you an email with an assignment where you have to practice your speaking. If you take everything you've learned today and you practice this for 10 days in a row, I promise you, the difference in 10 days is going to be life-changing for you. Most people know the information, they just do not implement it. So go try that out. Folks, has this been worth your time? Yes. Has this been worth your time, yes or no? Yes. Thank you so much. Give yourselves a round of applause, folks.